Let's tackle a question that feels incredibly modern but is actually timeless. If God is supposed to be good, why is the world so full of injustice? It's a huge question, for sure. But an ancient text offers a really fascinating answer, and we're going to unpack it together.
All right, to really get into this, let's start with a feeling I'm pretty sure every single one of us has had.
You know the feeling, right? It's that knot in your stomach when you see people who do terrible things just keep winning, while good, honest people can't seem to catch a break. It just feels wrong. And here's the thing, if you've ever felt that way, you are not alone, not by a long shot. This question, this deep frustration, has been echoing through human history for thousands of years. In fact, this feeling once got so intense that it led to a direct, face-to-face confrontation with God himself. And it was all recorded in the book of a prophet named Malachi, way back in the Old Testament. You see, the people of Israel were looking around and saw this huge gap between their faith in a just God and the reality of the world they were living in. It's what we'd call cognitive dissonance today, that uncomfortable feeling when what you believe and what you see just don't match up. And boy, they did not hold back. They came right out and said it. They basically accused God of one of two things. Either he was unjust and actually liked the bad guys, or he was just gone, absent. It's an incredibly bold thing to say, born out of real pain. And you can kind of see their logic, can't you? When you look around and all the evidence seems to show that the wicked are getting ahead, it's easy to jump to one of those two conclusions. Either God is okay with it, or he's not there to stop it. But God's answer? Well, it wasn't what anyone expected. He didn't get into a big theological debate. He didn't argue with them point by point. Instead, he gave them a promise, a prophecy that would change the entire conversation. So, instead of giving them an explanation for their suffering, he promised them a person. He answered their cry for justice by saying, "Hold on, I'm sending someone." A messenger who would finally come and make things right. And this is where it gets really interesting. The original Hebrew word for messenger here is malach. That same word can also be translated as angel. So right away, this messenger has this divine, otherworldly quality. And get this, the prophet's name, Malachi, literally means my messenger. So he's living out his own name. So this doesn't really close the case, does it? It just opens up a brand new, massive question. Who is this messenger of the covenant, this person who is supposed to uphold God's promises and finally bring about real justice? Who could possibly be powerful enough to do that? That question just hangs in the air for centuries, actually, and the tension builds and builds, all leading to this dramatic moment described in the New Testament. Fast forward a few hundred years, and Christian writers point to one person as the answer, the fulfillment of this ancient prophecy, Jesus. They say he is the long-awaited messenger of the covenant. And remember what that prophecy said, then suddenly the Lord you are seeking will come to his temple. Well, think about the story of Jesus marching into the temple in Jerusalem. He sees the corruption, the money changers taking advantage of the poor, and he doesn't just walk by, he drives them out. It wasn't just a visit, it was a reckoning. But his mission wasn't just about that one single event. According to the text, this messenger had a dual mission. Two big jobs that are completely interconnected. So the messenger's job has two parts, and they're like two sides of the same coin. On one side, you have purification, this deep, intense cleansing. And on the other side, you have judgment, holding people accountable for their actions. Let's dig into that a little. The idea of purification is described using this really powerful image of a refiner's fire. Think about what that does. It's incredibly hot. And its purpose is to burn away all the junk, all the worthless impurities, so that only the pure, valuable gold and silver are left behind. It's about restoration, not just destruction. And then there's the other side of that coin, judgment. And this part speaks directly to the people's original complaint, doesn't it? Malachi gets super specific. The messenger will be a witness against very real, very human injustices. People exploiting their workers, oppressing the vulnerable, lying, all of it. It shows that God's justice isn't some vague, abstract idea. It's about confronting specific wrongs. Okay, so what does all of this ancient text and prophecy mean for us right now, living in a world that still feels pretty unjust? Well, the text leaves us with one last, really powerful metaphor. I want you to picture this. You're on a small boat and you're caught in a massive storm. The waves are huge, crashing over the deck. The boat is tossing back and forth. You feel totally disoriented. Any sailor will tell you the one thing you have to do to keep your balance and not get sick is to stop looking at the chaotic waves around you and fix your eyes on the one stable thing you can see, the horizon. And that's the final idea here. The world is that stormy sea. The daily injustices, the chaos, those are the waves crashing all around us. The text suggests that the key to navigating it all is to fix our gaze on that steady point on the horizon, this ultimate source of purification and judgment, to find our stability. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. It's one thing to believe that there's an ultimate justice coming, way out there on the horizon, but how does focusing on that hope give us a way forward, a way to live and act in the middle of this stormy, imperfect world we're in right now?